Yes. Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Uh, good wishes to all of you. I'm architect Suhel Makandar. I'm an architect and urban designer. Uh, Basically, I have completed my architecture from College of Architecture, Sholapur, and I have completed my Masters of Architecture in Urban Design from School of Planning and Architecture, Bhopal. I had completed it in 2015. Uh, Now, urban design is a very wide field, and it is a field which is coming up in India, which is growing tremendously. Uh, the first question arises is to why urban design? And if someone asked me, why did I prefer urban design after completing my graduation as a specialization? So urban design is for those people, for those architects, and for those planners also, who think about the betterment of our cities. Uh, so basically, what do urban designers do? They create a more livable environment in the cities. They create a much better ambience in the city. They not only deal with the two-dimensional planning or the two-dimensional aspect of the city, but they'll deal with the look and feel of the city. So before going on to the professional aspect of urban design, let us quickly go through where are the major institutes, some influential institutes and some really good institutes situated in India, which offer masters in urban design. So just to name a few, School of Architecture, where urban design is taught as a master's course. So yes, coming on to what do you look forward to learn as a student of urban design? So because in architecture, you generally your whole curriculum revolves around architectural design and the technicalities that is required to bring up a building. But when we talk about urban design, we are talking about a major scale change. We're talking about a macro scale. We are talking about any project that deals minimum about 100 acres. Okay, so we go beyond the building scale. So in urban design, the basic subjects that are there are obviously the urban design studio. Then there are legislations that are taught. Yes, because when we are working in public space, when we are working with urban scale, we have to work in a legislative framework. Then we are taught about the environment laws, the environment acts, because all urban design projects, they are subject to environmental approvals. There is also the financing and project management that is taught. But apart from this, the technicality aspects of urban design, the schools like CEPT and Raheja and SPA, they offer something unique. They offer some other subjects like Indian urbanism, where you learn about the Indian way of the urbanism that has evolved. Then you learn about, you have a lot of collaborative subjects also, where you learn about some subjects from landscape architecture, where you learn about some subjects from planning, where you learn some subjects from transportation. Okay. So basically, this is the overview of the general subjects that are there in an urban design course. So masters in urban design in India, it spans for 2 years, that is 4 semesters. Basically, the first semester is the foundation semester, then you graduate to an advanced level, then the second semester is the advanced level, then the third semester is super advanced level, and the fourth semester is your thesis. Okay. Uh, Anyway, you have a combination of 5 to 6 subjects in every semester. Out of that, the urban design studio has the major credit course. All right. So coming back to why urban design and when should I opt for an urban design course? If you have the passion for betterment of cities, if you are ready to spend your entire life, your professional life in the future dealing with cities, betterment of people, giving back to the society, then urban design becomes a very, very, very interesting tool for you. Not only to make a good profession, but to see something good happening around you. Because apart from whatever the professional remuneration we get and whatever the jobs we get, the salary we get, something that gives us a higher level of confidence and a sense of achievement is when you see the people benefiting around you. And that is what urban design projects does. Okay. Uh, Now coming on to, okay, I have done my urban design. I've completed my urban design, but now I don't know where am I going to work or in what domains am I going to work. All right. So in urban design, basically you will be working, as I said, it is a macro level a field where you're working on large scale projects. You would be dealing anywhere with maybe directly with government or with some PPP agencies, that is public private projects. Okay. Or you would be working with some private developers on a large scale projects. For example, in Mumbai, you have Hiranandani, or if you have the Reliance Special Economic Zone Park coming up, Reliance IT Park coming up, they will involve an urban designer right from the scratch phase. Okay. Now, one of a major question and a major confusion that comes in everyone's mind, and in fact it came in even my mind when I was a student of graduation, when I was doing my graduation in the final year. A question which came to my mind was, what is the difference between urban planning and urban design? Although the product on which both these fields work, they are the same. So I'll quickly list down what is the basic difference between urban design and urban planning. Urban planning deals with first of all, the two-dimensional planning of the city. It deals with the land use, the zoning, the regulations. So it deals with more of the legislative aspect. That are the rules and regulations, the rules and law of the land. Okay. Planning also deals with forecasting, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years forecasting of the future, because you have to design something for the future, not only for today. So planning does a lot of forecasting. It does two-dimensional planning. It does land use zoning. It takes into consideration the legislative aspect, and the outcome is in the form of a policy framework. Now, what is urban design? Urban design, generally, planning and urban design work on the same slate. So planning provides a basis for working up. Urban design deals with the three-dimensional aspect. It deals with mixed uses. It deals with the detailing right from the street. What type of the footpath should be, where the street furniture should be located, what should be the type of cycle track, what should be the type of the building facades, the ratio of building facades. So it deals with the look and feel and the detailing of the city in 3 dimension. Okay, so before the project begins, the planner puts the framework, the urban designer comes in, and the urban designer takes ahead the entire thing along with the execution. Okay. Now coming on to, all right, I've completed my urban design. I know on what projects I'm going to work. Where am I going to work? You would be probably hired as an urban designer by government agencies, first of all, like SIDCO, MMRDA. In Delhi, you have Delhi Municipal Corporation, MCDM, Municipal Corporation of Delhi, MCD. You have AUDA, AUDA in Ahmedabad. So all these major agencies, that are city planning agencies and the urban planning agencies and the legislative agencies of those cities, they will be hiring you for the betterment of the cities. Then in private, More than the government, there is much bigger opportunity in private sector. There are some really good firms in India. To name a few, I would say there is, if you all know about Sabarmati Riverfront Development Project, HCP is the firm who has done it. They hire a lot of urban designers. There are firms like I&I Design Studio, again in Ahmedabad, formerly known as Stantec, where I had begun my career as an urban designer. There is Morphogenesis in Delhi. There are PK Das and Associates in Mumbai, and a lot. The urban designers, basically, you go to any metro cities, you will find urban designers. And it's not only metro cities, but with the advent of smart city projects, even smaller cities like Nagpur, Kolhapur, Sholapur, smaller cities are also having the requirement for urban designers. And nowadays, you will find like a few of my colleagues, some junior from my graduation course, they are working as urban designers in very smaller cities, tier 3 cities. Okay. So yes, what to name a few projects about urban design, what are the type of projects? So what I'll do is I'll mention a few Indian projects. So it quickly comes to your mind because we have heard of them. As I mentioned, SRFDL, Sabarmati Riverfront Development Project in Ahmedabad, that is an urban design project. Then if you know about the transit-oriented zoning that is happening in Ahmedabad, that is an urban design project. Okay. If you look at the Mumbai Bandstand renovation that had happened, the Carter Road renovation, and the Malad Mindspace sea reclamation renovation projects that happened, they were urban design projects. Okay. So there are a lot of urban design projects. Urban design, urban planning, and landscape. These three fields work hand in hand for a better output of a project. Now, coming on to fine. As a student, I decided, okay, I'm inclining towards urban design. I know what urban designers do. I know which institute is good. I know where I have to target to work in private or government sector. But the main question, the moolah, what is the remuneration I'm getting? Because you're going to spend a substantial amount of money for your education. And architectural education and urban design education in India for the postgraduate course, it ranges the overall, if I take, if I just mention my experience with what I spend in urban design education in SP Bhopal per year. So anywhere between 1.5 to 2 lakhs is the minimum what you spend on the basic fees. And if you take into the cost of living and your materials, and you have to do a lot of case studies and tours, you have to travel all around India while you're doing urban design to learn new things. So it costs you anywhere between 3 to 4 lakhs minimum on the conservative side. It costs you around that much. Okay, it can be lower. It can, if you go for a much conservative spending, you can do it within 2 to 2.5 lakhs per year. So around 5 lakhs in the 2 years course, and maximum it can go up to 10 lakhs depending on your spending. Minimum you can do it within 5 lakhs. Okay, in SPA, because it is a residential course, you have the hostel charges and the food charges and the tuition fees. Okay, so after spending 5 lakhs and 10 lakhs maybe in India, obviously abroad it is much more. It goes almost up to 8 to 10 lakhs per year if you go to the states. Okay, and if you get scholarships, it comes down a little. And if you go to some private university without any funding, it goes much higher. It goes almost up, including the cost of living and all, it goes up to almost 20 lakhs per year and all. So what do you earn in India after doing urban design? And from what level do you start working? Because once I do a graduate, I'm a fresh graduate, I go out, I know I'm going to work as a junior architect, as a fresher. But if I complete my urban design and go out to work over there, the people who are going to hire me, at what level they are going to hire, they will hire you at an urban designer level. Okay, that is the lowest level. There used to be a junior urban design level earlier, but now there is no junior urban designer level. There is urban designer level. Based upon the city where you're going to work, the average beginner level the income job, the salaries. I'm talking about, whenever I'm talking about the salaries, I will be talking with reference to the annual packages. So if you go to any place like Ahmedabad and all, and if you're a fresher at a beginner level as a postgraduate urban designer, you would be getting anywhere between 3.5 to 5.5 lakhs per annum as a fresher. If you come to Mumbai, again, you would be getting anywhere between 5 to 6 lakhs per annum, okay, as a fresher. Once you will be 2 to 3 years down the line, urban designers see an immense growth. If you are a good performer, your salaries tend to increase almost 1.5 times, 1.5 to 2 times. So if you are a good professional, if your urban design skills are good, and if you have a good command over project, you might end up getting, in 3 years, you might end up getting almost double raise. So if you began at say 3.5 lakhs, maybe in 3 years, you might reach 7 lakhs or even 8 lakhs. And in 5 years, you might reach up to 9 lakhs and all, okay, in Mumbai. So that is it. And if you're going abroad, generally what you get abroad is US pay scales. So you get $60,000 per year package. That is roughly $5,000 per month. Out of that, almost 30% goes into tax. So what you get in your hand is roughly around $3,500. But remember one thing, before converting the dollars into rupees, you are earning in dollars over there and you're spending in dollars over there. So, and the basic cost of living over there, the minimum when you stay in maybe a shared apartment, something, it is around $2,000. So when you earn $5,000, $1.5K is going towards taxes. You're left with 3.5K in your hand. And out of that, you're spending 2K in your whatever minimum, again, quoting minimum lifestyle. What remains with your hand is $1,500. And if you have a little higher lifestyle, higher spending, like traveling around and all that, you might even have a lower savings. So that is what is, again, the pay scales that are there. Urban design, after the entry level, where do I see myself? To make a bold statement, most of the project heads nowadays, call it metro, call it any area development, area planning, the requirement for the topmost position in that project, where you have the senior or the MD level position, that the requirement for that is now generally a postgraduate or a PhD. Okay, PhD is still very less nowadays in India, but still it is a postgraduate, and there they prefer postgraduates in urban design, especially for urban projects, with obviously 15 to 20 years of experience. So after completing urban design, 15 years down the line in practice, when you go, you will have the option of becoming the top boss. And at that scale, the salaries range anywhere between, I'm again quoting today's scale, it ranges anywhere between 36 lakhs to 45 to 46 lakhs per year. That is anywhere between 3 lakhs per month to 4 lakhs per month. Okay, so that's what you earn as an urban designer. Apart from working on projects, apart from the professional side, you also have the academic side. And as an urban designer, one very great thing is you can have an academic profile. At the same time, you can have a professional profile. That means you can be an academician teaching urban design in schools and colleges, teaching about urban level subjects like urban design and graduate courses, urban and regional planning, advanced services, advanced construction. And apart from that, you can also have your individual freelancing and urban design projects that you can take on your own. So that adds to a balance between an academic and a professional approach, which again, urban design, it gives you the opportunity to do this. So that's it. I think I've covered a broad spectrum about urban design. It is one thing that I forgot to say, it is a fairly new course in India. It has just boomed in the last decade. So even before 2010, there were very few people who were actually urban designers. And even today, you will find not more than 40 to 50 urban designers graduating or post-graduating in India, because most of the colleges have the seat restriction of 20 seats. So all colleges combined, you have anywhere between 50 to 60 people, urban designers, that are coming out in the industry. So there is a fair amount of vacancy in the industry. So yeah, that's it from my side. I think I've covered wide aspects of urban design. And if there's anything, obviously, you all can contact Ravi sir. He is always there for our guidance. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. I think you have covered most of the doubts, at least like for students, what they have during this process of getting the course. Major things that dilemma that students faces urban design and planning. People don't know the difference between the two. You explained it so well. I guess students will be very happy when they hear your entire enlightenment. I'm so happy, and this is amazing that you have given broader perspective right from beginning the course, the duration, the cost of course, and how much they can earn, the big question of course. And
Right.
thank you so much, and we would always be happy to have you. This is one of the first ones we are you are helping students with. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your time.
Yes. Thank you, Architect Rashmi.
Yes, thank you, sir.